But we do start with a possible return to English football for Wayne Rooney less than 48 hours after leaving DC United. Birmingham want the former England and Manchester United forward to become the club's new head coach after sacking John Eustace this morning. Well, let's go live to St Andrews and speak to our senior reporter, Rob Dorset. Very good evening to you, Rob. First question then, where are we right now? Have Birmingham spoken to Rooney?
Well, I can tell you, Rob, in minutes I've had a conversation with a couple of different sources who've confirmed to me that whilst Wayne Rooney is currently still in Washington, as you say, he only left his role with DC United a couple of days ago, talks between Birmingham City and Rooney's representatives have now formally started. That's happened a couple of hours ago, and whilst there was an approach from Birmingham, Rooney's representatives earlier today, after the sacking of John Eustace this morning, this afternoon is when the first proper talks about a deal to get Wayne Rooney as the next manager here at St Andrews actually started in proper. Both sides, I'm told, are hopeful that a deal can get done, but in truth there's no huge rush from either side as things stand, because we're in the middle of an international break, aren't we? And Birmingham don't play their next championship match for another 10, 12 days or so. That gives both sides a bit of breathing space to take their time and try and get this done properly. But it is very clear that Wayne Rooney is Birmingham City's first and only choice as head coach to take over from John Eustace, and that is why John Eustace was dispensed with pretty swiftly earlier on this morning. I should mention, by the way, that if Birmingham can get this deal done, Wayne Rooney's first game in charge of Birmingham City would be away at Middlesbrough, and that would be an appetising prospect, wouldn't it? Because it would be his former teammate Michael Carrick against former Manchester United colleague Wayne Rooney in the dugouts for that game a week on Saturday. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Talks have only formally started a couple of hours ago, and it may take a bit of time, I think, for the deal to get done. Wayne Rooney's still in Washington, but the deal is being done by his representatives without him right now. He could, of course, be told to fly to the UK at any point as the deal gets closer.
You mentioned, Rob, that John Eustace was pretty quickly dispensed with. Is that something of a surprise, particularly given that Birmingham go into the international break in the playoff places?
Well, on the face of it, yes. You would say it's a strange one. Birmingham City 6th in the Championship, off the back of two games where they've beaten Huddersfield 4-1 and then their local rivals West Bromwich Albion 3-1. So, look, they're not in a bad place, are they, Birmingham City? That's very, very clear. And I think, speaking to people close to John Eustace, he isn't surprised that this is happening. I think he had the sense that this was coming and had seen the rumours about Wayne Rooney's possible connection with Birmingham as well. But he is nonetheless hugely disappointed. From Eustace's point of view, he feels he got Birmingham through some very tough times when he took over in June of last year. That was under the previous ownership, of course, remember. And there were some difficult financial situations. There were difficult political situations off the pitch as well. He had quite a bare he was dealing with, and yet he kept Birmingham in the division. And from his perspective, he feels he got through the tough times and Birmingham were coming out the other side with him in charge, only for his services to be dispensed with. But I think the fact that he's done so well in difficult times for Birmingham will mean that it won't be long until John Eustace gets his next opportunity in football. He has enhanced his reputation in the job that he has done here. But I'll point to what Birmingham said in their statement when they decided they were going to sack and announced they were sacking John Eustace this morning. They said a new first-team manager will be announced in the coming days who will be responsible for creating an identity and clear, no-fear playing style. And I think that's at the heart of it. The board here at Birmingham wanted somebody like Wayne Rooney, one of the best forwards the game has ever seen, England's second all-time leading goal scorer for his country now after Kane overtook him, to engage and bring in a new attacking style. Eustace would say, well, hang on, we've just scored 7 goals in the last 2 games. How does that work? But I think this goes back further, and they see Wayne Rooney as a marquee signing, a huge box office name that can take this football club to the next level. That's what they hope if Birmingham's owners, Tom Wagner, of course, with the NFL superstar Tom Brady as one of the investing partners here, if they can get this deal done over the line in the next few days.
Rob, you know the Midlands very well, you know Birmingham very well. A lot of their supporters on social media this afternoon are drawing some parallels between a similar point a few years ago where Gary Rowett was dispensed with and replaced with Gianfranco Zola, which almost ended in disaster. Can you understand those comparisons that the Birmingham City fans are making?
Yes, you can. And the long-suffering Birmingham City fans have been through the mire, haven't they? And when there was some hugely ambitious plans announced in dispensing with Gary Rowett, a very solid, impressive football man who knows the game like the back of his hand, to be replaced with a big name in Gianfranco Zola, there was an awful lot of money spent, and it bankrupted Birmingham City, plain and simple. The players didn't come off and it just didn't work. I think Birmingham's owners, if they were here talking to you now, would say this is a very different situation. They've had ambitious plans for this football club since they bought it. They want to get the club into the Premier League and they want to keep it in the Premier League. They're already investing in the facilities, they're investing in the playing squad. This is a key step in investing in the next level of coaching as far as they're concerned. And to that end, they hope and believe that Wayne Rooney can take them to the next step. From Rooney's perspective, I think it's the perfect fit. Remember, everything he has done in his career has been carefully managed and scrutinised and planned by not just himself but by the people around him. When he took the job at Derby County as player manager, there was a guarantee in place that he would be manager on his own at some point in the future. That's why he went to Pride Park. He got that opportunity. He learnt in some very difficult situations where Derby, let's be honest, were really struggling financially, had a 21-point deduction, and Wayne Rooney very nearly kept Derby in the division. And the players, by the way, at Pride Park absolutely loved him. Since then, he left Derby and he's gone to America to continue his coaching education, if you like, in the MLS. It's all part of the big master plan. He's now, if it gets across the line, coming back to a big championship club with big new owners with huge ambitions. So you can see why, from the Birmingham City ownership perspective and from Wayne Rooney's perspective, they think this is a very, very good fit. Let's see if they can get the deal over the line in the next few days. But just to reiterate the news that we've brought you in the last couple of minutes, the very latest I have on this, Wayne Rooney currently still in Washington, D.C., but could be told to get on a plane at any time, while formal negotiations have now started between his representatives and the Birmingham City bosses.